Good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. Today we're in the 80s, so I can bake, no problem. 90 degrees was killing me. Okay, you're going to have to grease a 9 by 5 inch loaf pan, and what we're making is actually an old-time oatmeal raisin bread, and I'm going to add some nuts to it as well. Now this is usually great for breakfast. The children and your family will love having this for breakfast. You know, you could serve something with it. If you have leftover fish, you can serve cold fish with it. If you wish to be traditional, you can have scrambled eggs with it and bacon. You can have sausage with it. Need I go further? You can do a lot of things with this, okay? So grease your 9 by 5 inch loaf pan, and we're going to have to preheat our oven to 375, which I don't mind doing because it's cool. We're in the 60s right now, but we'll be getting up to the 80s. Now, some of you have noticed that you don't hear Pip. Well, I'm going to tell you what happened to him while we're making this. We need 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. I didn't get that. Okay. Pip had a stroke. Now look, he's 17 years old, so he's an old bird or an old cockatiel. He had a stroke. It took us a while, you know, and we had to move everything low down in his cage because he can't climb. It seems to have tacked at his right side. He can't get his right leg up, and he's right-handed, as they would say. He uses his right to get up the ladder, and he can't do that right now. So he can't clean himself, so I have to clean him. But we started physical therapy. I was worried about him because I didn't know how I could help him. When you have a stroke victim, you know, I know they have to go to the hospital and stuff, but the vet's gone, and you know, he's retired, and that's pretty much it. We're going to need a tablespoon of wheat germ in this. And so, I'm going to be honest, I had a dream 2 days ago, and my husband came to me and he showed me therapy. Somebody who can't walk, you take the leg, he showed me what I had to do. So I woke up, because I have to clean his backside every day at the sink, you know, to get him to clean him up, because when he tries to pick his leg up to get back there, he falls over. So he couldn't clean himself, and he's very frustrated. Listen, he is not happy about anything that's happened to him. We need 3/4 of a cup of instant rolled oats. 3/4 of a cup. Okay. So what I did was I started giving him therapy after I, you know, because he can't close his feet, his right side, to hold on to the stairs or to the perch or anything, so I have to do therapy with him. And I want you to know, I worked him yesterday. He slept. He was too tired to bite, but he didn't complain, because he usually bites me all the time. So I always expect to get bit, but that's what's happened to poor little guy. But he is back there, and he's eating right now. We had to put plates and stuff down low so he can maneuver. But he's going to be cleaned up a little later today. I'm going to let him have his breakfast and all before I proceed to work his leg and get his leg up and running again. 2 tablespoons of firmly packed dark brown sugar. Some of you have asked, I know some of you get angry about the bird and you say you can't hear because of him. Well, this is his home, and he's 17 years old, and like any old man, you can shut up and listen to him. You know, you don't tell the elderly what to do. They'll tell you, but you don't dare tell them. The only time I'm telling him what to do is he's going to take his therapy, if he likes it or not. And I am happy that I can do some therapy with him. 2 tablespoons of dark brown sugar, like I said, and And now we're going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon. So we play music and sounds for hoping that he'll get back to his singing. Just gonna fit in here. Oh, good. Now, if you don't want to add nuts to it, that's fine. You don't have to. But I want to put the nuts and the raisins and the oats to make this rich. Okay. We need a teaspoon of baking powder. Now, because this one has baking powder and baking soda in it, and I've already experimented with that, it doesn't work that way. So I'm going to use the one I bought in the store. Yes, I know it has aluminum, but I also know how to make I've got my made one up there. Let's see. Is this mixed? Yeah, a half a teaspoon of baking soda. And a fourth of a teaspoon of salt. Allspice, we want 1/4 teaspoon as well. Now you're going to mix this up. Now I can show you. I read all the instructions of what to put into this bowl, so you didn't need to see that. You're going to mix all this up. You need 3 tablespoons of chilled butter, and we're going to cut that in the same way we mix this up. I don't think I need these anymore. See, you have aprons, not just to keep your clothes clean, because when you get stuff on your hands, you're going to do this. We're very notorious for doing it. We don't always have our towels, and we'll sit there. If we don't grab a towel, we're going to wipe it on our apron. Now you're going to cut this in until it makes coarse crumbs. Now you are going to need, don't worry, we'll get everything done. 2/3 of a cup of buttermilk, which I already have, and you're going to crack 1 egg into it. We're going to mix this up after. just clearing up my space. Work area. Okay, they want, now this we're not going to do the way they want, because they want us to put the buttermilk and eggs and raisins together. You know if you do that, they're going to sink. So what we're going to have to do, the proper way of doing this is when you read recipes and you know it's not quite how it's supposed to be. We are going to sit there and put them in here and coat them with the flour so they will suspend, and that's what we have to do. Now they say dark raisins. Well, moi ran out of raisins. So I'm going to mix my golden and these together. So, and if you take a look at golden raisins, what happens after you have them a while? They turn dark. Isn't that interesting? So I said, what the heck? But I did put dark raisins and golden raisins on my list, because this is the last of my golden raisins too. Once they're coated, you don't have to worry. They will suspend throughout it. And I'm sure a lot of you have had cakes and tea breads, because that's what these are really called, tea breads. And you see everything sitting down on the bottom. That's because they didn't do this step. A lot of the recipes are taking a lot of shortcuts, and because they're taking shortcuts, the things aren't coming out the way they're supposed to. That's why people are buying instant batters and doughs and stuff, because these steps are left out, because the only way they can make it and get that flavor and stuff that they're looking for is that. But once you know these tricks, you don't have to depend upon them anymore. Okay, I'm going to need my cutting board for this one. My old faithful, yes, I know. Everybody complains about this poor cutting board. It's been through so much. I'm also going to add a half a cup of almonds. Now these are sliced almonds, but I figured I'll go ahead and use these up. But if you have all whole almonds or slivered almonds and you want to use them, go right ahead, but you need a half a cup chopped up. And I said these would be real easy to chop up this morning. That oven is on, and I can feel the cool breeze through the back door. So nice. That's why women like to cook more in the winter, because it's more comfortable. But whatever almonds you have, use them. I don't think this is going to hurt that much. Just be careful chopping, because they're up everywhere. Some just hit the floor. Now it was funny that the ARE, in a reading case, he said 3 almonds a day to keep cancer away. Then when they did research on seeds, and they found out seeds, an almond is a seed, nuts are seeds. They have two compounds, which confirms what Casey said. Two chemical compounds that fight cancer. Now you have to admit, that's really interesting. I've known about ARE for so long, my whole life. Okay, now you're going to take these nuts and throw it into your dry ingredients as well, and you're going to toss them around to make sure they get coated with the flour as well. So when you go to do the dish, this tea bread that we're making for breakfast, they'll be suspended. As long as it's coated by flour, the batter will support them. So whenever you have dry ingredients, even if you're making holiday bread and they have the candied stuff, you have to get them coated so they will be suspended to whatever you're making. That's the trick. Now I need a fork. Now you're going to go to the buttermilk and egg. Also make a well in here. Okay. Oh, that's different. I never heard of doing it like that. Okay. We're going to pour this in here and we are going to just stir until dry ingredients are moistened and a sticky dough forms. All right. Sticky dough forms, right. Now this next step I have never done. This is very, very new to me. This one's come up with a new twist. Where's my flour? Out of work area, you're gonna flour this. Scrape all of this together. I know. I don't even have it all mixed yet. Now you know what they want us to do? Knead it 10 to 15 times. Some of this dough off my hands. And back in here. And 9 by 5, where you're going to place this in here. Just knock the excess flour off. Until almost smooth. You can see that I was close to it. And place in the prepared pan. Now we're going to bake this about 40 minutes. They say 40 minutes, but we're going to have to check it, but it should be fine. So I'm going to put it in. As you can see, I put it in, and we're going to see what happens. I really want to pat this out further into this pan. Do what I feel safer with. I'm actually going to fit it into the pan, like so, and now we're going to bake. And we will see it in 40 minutes and see how it looks. Okay, it's time to check it. Now sometimes when you cook things, they're not quite done. So you don't open the oven door all the way and sit there and pull it out where all that cold air touches it. You just open it enough to get your arm in there, go in the center and stick a toothpick in it to see if it's done. Then you look at your toothpick to see if it's wet or not. That's what I did. Now, the simplest place to do it and the most sensitive would be to touch your lips, because they're extremely sensitive. You would be able to feel the moisture or the dryness. This is done, so I'm going to be taking it out. But I wanted to show you that. It's not really this, it's when you do this. That's when you really feel if there's a hint of moisture in it or if it's dry or whatever. That's your key. So let me get it out and we'll take a look at it. Now this is not a really big loaf. I mean, it's not like coming up and over the pan or anything. This is a heavy loaf of all the fruit and sweets that you've put in it. Not that it's heavy because you didn't make it right. And I'll show you. So here it is. So this has to cool. And then I'm sure my family's going to be trying it. And they're the ones who aren't home right now, because one left at 3:30, 4 o'clock, no, about 4:30 this morning. I mean, I was up getting myself together, and he said, "Bye, Mommy." I said, "Okay, bye. Have a nice day." You know, he had a 7:30. He had to get to work at 7:30 to meet his group. He's a tour guide ambassador, and he gets a lot of tours, and they come up at these early hours like that, and I don't see him for a couple of days. And if I do see him, he's sound asleep. And then when I get up, there's a note or something, and I buy, you know, and this is what he does. So listen, you take care and enjoy your day. Bye-bye.